Have you ever felt a deep calling to help others, to ease their suffering, and to make the world a more compassionate place? What if true happiness didn't come from seeking personal success, but from dedicating your life to the well-being of others? This is the heart of the Bodhisattva Path, one of the most profound ideals in Buddhism. Unlike many spiritual paths that focus on personal liberation, the Bodhisattva chooses a different way. They walk the path of wisdom and compassion, not just for themselves, but for the sake of all beings. A bodhisattva is someone who, despite having the ability to attain enlightenment and escape the cycle of suffering, makes a vow to remain in the world, guiding and uplifting others. They are driven not by personal desire, but by boundless love. Instead of seeking an escape from suffering, they embrace it, transforming it into an opportunity to serve. This idea is not just for monks or saints. It is a way of life that anyone can follow. Whether you are a teacher, a doctor, a parent, or simply a person navigating life, you too can cultivate the Bodhisattva mindset. In this episode, we will explore what it means to walk the Bodhisattva path, the commitments and practices that define this journey, and how we can integrate this profound wisdom into our everyday lives. The word Bodhisattva comes from the Sanskrit words Bodhi, meaning awakening, and Sattva, meaning being. A bodhisattva, therefore, is an awakened being who dedicates their life not to personal salvation, but to the awakening of all sentient beings. Unlike the arhat, who seeks nirvana to end their own suffering, the bodhisattva chooses to stay within the world, returning again and again, so they can guide others toward liberation. To understand the bodhisattva's motivation, imagine a doctor who could retire, having healed thousands of patients, yet chooses to continue working because they know more people still need care. Or picture a teacher who has mastered their subject but remains in the classroom to help students grow. A bodhisattva is like that, a being who has seen the truth but stays behind to help others cross the shore of suffering. The bodhisattva's journey is carried forward by two essential qualities, wisdom and compassion. Just as a bird needs two wings to fly, a bodhisattva must cultivate both in perfect balance. Wisdom allows them to see beyond illusions and understand the nature of reality, while compassion gives them the strength to act selflessly for the benefit of others. Without wisdom, compassion can become blind attachment, and without compassion, wisdom can become cold and detached. When these two qualities are developed together, they create the foundation for a path that leads not only to personal enlightenment, but to the upliftment of all beings. The journey of a bodhisattva is defined by 4 great vows, promises that reflect their infinite commitment to helping others. These vows are vast, seemingly impossible, yet they are taken with full sincerity, not because they expect to complete them, but because they recognize that even the smallest effort can create ripples of change. The first vow is, beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them all. At first, this seems like an impossible task. How can one person possibly free all beings from suffering? The bodhisattva does not think in terms of success or failure, but in terms of effort. Just as a single teacher may not educate every child in the world but can change the lives of the students they encounter, the bodhisattva sees every act of kindness as meaningful. The second vow states, delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. The mind is filled with endless illusions, cravings, fears, and misunderstandings. But the bodhisattva dedicates themselves to cutting through this ignorance, both within themselves and in others. Every time they choose wisdom over reactivity, every time they help someone see through their suffering, they are fulfilling this vow. The third vow is, Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddhist teachings are vast and varied, offering countless ways to reach enlightenment. The bodhisattva commits to lifelong learning, knowing that the more they understand, the better they can serve others. This vow represents the dedication to continuous growth and mastery, not for personal gain, but as a means to guide others more effectively. The fourth and final vow states, the Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to realize it. This is the vow to awaken fully, not for the sake of self-liberation, but so that one can become a true source of refuge for others. It is the commitment to keep walking the path, no matter how long it takes, because the goal is not individual enlightenment, but the awakening of all beings. To fulfill these great vows, a bodhisattva cultivates 6 essential qualities, known as the 6 perfections or paramitas. These are the guiding principles that shape their thoughts, actions, and way of being in the world. The first perfection is generosity, not just in material terms but in giving time, kindness, and wisdom without expecting anything in return. A bodhisattva gives because they see no separation between themselves and others. Their joy is in seeing others uplifted. The second perfection is ethics, which means living a life of integrity and non-harm. The bodhisattva follows ethical principles not out of obligation, but out of care for all beings. The third perfection is patience, which is not passive endurance, but an active form of strength. It is the ability to remain calm in difficulty, to meet life's challenges with grace, and to replace anger with understanding. The fourth perfection is diligence, the tireless energy to keep going even when the path is difficult. A bodhisattva does not give up on others, no matter how lost they seem, because they know that even the hardest heart can awaken. The fifth perfection is meditation, which gives the bodhisattva mastery over their own mind. Without inner clarity, one cannot guide others effectively. The final perfection is wisdom, the understanding of interdependence, impermanence, and non-self. It is wisdom that allows the bodhisattva to act without attachment, helping others without being weighed down by expectation. The Bodhisattva Path is not a distant mythical journey meant only for enlightened sages or monastic practitioners. It is a path that anyone, including you and me, can walk every single day. It is a way of being that we bring into our everyday actions, thoughts, and interactions with the world around us. The Bodhisattva does not wait for the perfect moment to act with compassion. They seize every opportunity, no matter how small, to bring wisdom and kindness into the world. Living as a bodhisattva means recognizing that our lives are not separate from the lives of others. When we cultivate patience in difficult conversations, when we practice generosity with those who have less, when we listen deeply to someone who is struggling, we are embodying the bodhisattva spirit. Even simple actions, offering a kind word, forgiving someone who has wronged us, showing patience when anger would be easier, are profound manifestations of the bodhisattva's vow to serve all beings. This path also challenges us to break free from self-centered thinking. So often, we are caught in the trap of, what do I want? What do I need? How can I get ahead? The bodhisattva shifts this mindset, asking instead, how can I serve? How can I ease suffering? How can I contribute to a world that is kinder and more just? This does not mean neglecting ourselves or allowing others to take advantage of us. Instead, it means realizing that true fulfillment comes not from grasping but from giving, not from accumulating but from uplifting those around us. The beauty of this path is that it does not require dramatic acts of sacrifice or grand displays of kindness. It is woven into the smallest moments of daily life. The way we treat the people we encounter, the mindfulness we bring to our words, the way we respond to difficulty. All of these are opportunities to practice the bodhisattva way. Each moment presents a choice, to act with wisdom and compassion or to turn away in self-interest. The more we choose the path of the bodhisattva, the more natural it becomes, until compassion is no longer something we do, but something we are. As we reach the end of this episode, I invite you to reflect on a simple yet powerful question. How can I bring the bodhisattva spirit into my life today? This path is not about waiting for the right conditions or for a time when we feel fully ready. It is about stepping forward, even in uncertainty, and choosing kindness in a world that often forgets its value. It is about recognizing that suffering exists everywhere, in every home, in every heart, and choosing to be someone who lessens that suffering rather than adds to it. The world does not need more wealth, status, or competition. It needs more people who are willing to be beacons of wisdom and compassion. It needs those who will pause before reacting in anger, those who will offer help without expecting anything in return, those who will speak not to divide, but to heal. And that is why this path is so powerful. It is not reserved for the few. It is open to all. Whether you are a student, a parent, a worker, or a leader, you can choose to walk this path. Every small act of kindness plants a seed. Every moment of patience, every effort to understand rather than judge, every instance where you replace indifference with care. These are the footsteps of a bodhisattva. It is not about being perfect, nor about erasing all suffering from the world. It is about making a choice, moment by moment, to contribute to the healing of the world rather than its harm. So, as you move forward from this episode, ask yourself, how can I be more generous today? How can I meet frustration with patience? How can I listen more deeply to those around me? How can I be of service in whatever way is possible for me? Walking the Bodhisattva Path is not about grand gestures. It is about living each moment with intention, with love, and with the deep understanding that our lives are interconnected. If this teaching has resonated with you, I invite you to take part in this journey. Like, share, and comment below with your thoughts. What does the Bodhisattva Path mean to you? And if you haven't already, subscribe to the School of Buddha to continue exploring the depth of Buddhist wisdom. In our next episode, we will dive into the wisdom of emptiness, or sunyata, one of the most profound and transformative insights in Buddhism. Until then, stay mindful, stay compassionate, and keep walking the path